What's up, guys? I just ordered something. I'll show you where I'm heading, and let's see what I got. I told you I was gonna stop vlogging more. I probably shouldn't be doing this while driving. Anyway, what do you guys think it is? All right, guys. So as you can see, I am at the Home Depot. So what did I order, guys? Let's go find out. All right, guys, so there it is, the Honda HRN lawnmower. I'm gonna unpackage it. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a break-in in it, and then I'm gonna drain the oil, and I will go over it, the specs and everything. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so I just cut the box open. As you can see, it's got the manual right here. I'm guessing all of it comes with oil, so I'm guessing that it's just basic pull out play and twist the knobs, and yeah, we'll see it. It says easy choke auto system, remove protective film before use. So let's do this. Let's get out of the box. All right, guys, it is out of the box. So this has a Honda GCV 170. So first thing what I noticed, what I liked, if you look down here, you slide this back, that's it, one handle, very smooth, mulch or bag. Also, let's see, it is a rear discharge. Also, your controls, obviously pull that to engage the blade, and here's your drive system. This button right here, forward, locks, you can set it to how you want it. I like it a little bit up here, so I'll lock it like that. Has this warning label tag, chemicals exposed, California. So what this was, when I took it out of the box, this pulls out, it just twists. That's kind of cool. So you can, what do you call it? Raise the handles up and down. So if you want to store it. But I like the texture of the metal, guys. The tires, pretty cool. I do like that it has on the left side, one controls both tires to raise. Goes from 1 to 4 inches. Same thing on the rear. So I'm gonna put some oil in it, guys, and we're gonna start her up. All right, guys, so there is motor oil in it, and it comes with Honda 1030. So I want to show you guys that, you know, probably hard to see it, but there is oil, very hard to see. So I'm gonna put some gas in it. Honda says to run it for 5 hours, then do an oil change. I don't know if I agree with that. I do watch another channel, and I've seen him do the same thing that I'm about to do. I do it with all my mowers. I'm gonna run it for like 20 to 30 minutes, then drain the oil, then add fresh oil. You can use synthetic. These love 530. So I'm gonna change the oil, let it run. After I let it run for about 20 or 30 minutes, I'll change the oil, and I'll show you. It's gonna be black, and you don't want all those metal shavings in your mower. Like, that's why I don't agree with 5 hours. Also, I'm gonna save this bottle and refill it because it's the perfect amount. I'm gonna put synthetic oil in it. That way I always have the right amount of oil. All right, we'll see how she does. All right, there was fresh gas in it, guys. I'm gonna try this, holding it with one hand and pulling it. So this is gonna be the first pull. It's gonna be, see if we can do it holding the camera. All right, guys, that was the first pull. I thought I hit record, I didn't. So yeah, it's running. I'm gonna let it run for about a half hour. All right, guys, so I just ran it for 30 minutes in 40 seconds. We're gonna drain this. I'm gonna show you how easy it is. I'm gonna have to shut the camera off though because I forgot my tripod, and I'll show you what the color of the oil looks like. So I just dumped the oil. It is a little black. That's why I wanted to try to show you, but it was kind of hard on camera. But now I'm gonna put the new oil in, and then we're gonna test it out on a lawn, and we'll check out the cut quality. What I do like, I didn't say this earlier, it has a shut-off valve right there for the gas. So you just shut it off, and then you can tip it on its side. It makes oil changing so much easier. All right, I'm gonna put fresh oil in it, and we're gonna test her out. All right, guys, so as you can see, this will be the first mow for this mower. It's a good 4 or 5 inches, maybe 5 to 6, certain areas. I'm gonna test it out and see how she runs. So guys, this mower is an absolute game changer. It just wants to go. Now my Toro, with this tall grass, I've used it on this, would bog out. The mulching blades, like I'm on a hill, incline, and it just wants to go. I mean, this is one of my roughest lawns, but this thing, it has not bogged down on this thick stuff. It's just insane. Insane. All right, guys, so I'm back and I'm at another lawn. You see this pretty thick grass, and it's wet. It's actually wet. So I'm going to show you you see it kind of glistening. So it's thick and wet. I'm going to show you the mulching capabilities of this, because this mower is pretty good. So hold on. Drop the phone, guys. Kind of hard with one hand, but I'm going to show you. It's rained a lot. You can see the puddle over there. This is real thick grass. So that's one pass, one stripe, and you can see there's no clumping, this mulches really good. So, excuse me, so I'm gonna finish this up and I'll take another video showing you the final product. But this is very wet, thick grass, and this double blade technology mulching, I hate to say it, Toro needs to step up their game. So they're done with these Honda lineups. They were done in September of 23, but they had leftovers. So we're May 1st, 2024. So if you can scoop one up, I do it, because once they're sold out, that's it. Honda's done. It's actually a win for Toro, because I would have spent an extra $100 on this mower before. I've always used Toro, and they were pretty good to me, but after using this, I was wrong about Honda. They're all the hype. So with that said, I'll be back. All right, guys, welcome back. So obviously I was gonna record another after I was done mowing to show you there was no shavings. Well, the owner of the house came out and, started talking, and totally forgot, because I had to do 2 more lawns next to each other. So with that said, let's break it down. I always thought the Hondas were all hype. Boy, was I wrong. I've used, let's see, many commercial mowers, and I buy these small mowers for like little front yards, little backyards that take me like 5 or 10 minutes, you know? It's got a little gate, you can't fit a big 48, 52-inch mower. So that's why I always carry something like that. I know a lot of people disagree and, you know, time is profit, but an extra 2 minutes is not going to kill you. I don't need to spend $3,000 on a, you know, 30-inch Skag or something, or a, or even what, $2,000 on a, what do you call it? I can't even think. You guys know my videos aren't edited. Toro, we'll say, or X-Mart. Even have 21-inch for like over $2,000, or a Skag. With that said, if you can get one of these HRNs, or they have the Next Light, then I think the most expensive one is the HRX, I believe. I believe it's like a polymer deck, doesn't rust. I was wrong. I really, truly thought Honda was all hype. Like I said, I've used Toro, the Toro T-Bar, 48-inch, belt drive, hydraulic, had the Velkeys, you know, stand and go. Skag, I've used Skags, X-Marts, Bobcats. I use Bobcat now, 48-inch walk behind. I've used Skag V-Ride. I have not used a right stander. I would in the future like to get one. But I have 2 Bobcats, a Toro, a John Deere. This is my second Toro now. I bought the newest one it's 4 years old. It's a Toro Vortex 22-inch recycler. Personal pace, thought it was great. It's got the Briggs 163cc engine. With that said, as for mulching, no. It cannot handle thick grass. It can't handle wet grass. And I know you're not supposed to mulch, you know, thick grass. You know, you gotta cut it down. But even with that said, even if it's not even that, like, we'll say it's like 3 inches, 4 inches, and you want to mulch that, but they have a healthy, thick lawn, and it's dry, that even with a brand new sharp blade, that Toro, for some reason, will clump. It leaves clumps. I can't tell you how many times I've been aggravated on a job that the Toro would just choke itself out, and I have to restart it. And then you raise it a little bit, and you see everything just. Or you're going down a strip and you go across the sidewalk and you go on, turn around, go back and do another line, and just clippings everywhere all over the sidewalk. And you're like, really? So Honda had problems with their engine, something, I forget exactly what it was. So, if you know in the comments, I thought it was something to do with the shaft, camshafts or whatever. And it was affecting the pull start, whatever. And with that said, they have fixed it. So they said they're done selling all their mowers. They're moving on to bigger things. Very sad, very sad. If you've never owned a Honda, or you own a Honda and you have one that's old, I would probably go buy a brand new one and leave it in the box. That's exactly what I would do. I would leave it in the box and store it. So when that other Honda that you own breaks, because I'm honestly thinking about literally buying another one and leaving it in the box for years to come. I paid $5.49 out the door at Home Depot. And no sales tax in New Hampshire. That's the beauty of New Hampshire. No sales tax, so $549 right out the door. My Toro, they wanted $479. I remember I bought it 4 years ago, late in the season, on sale for $439. But if you go on the website, you can get it for $449. But Tractor Supply or Home Depot, $479. You know, I'm like, I'll save the money. Because I almost did buy the Honda. And this was my second 20 recycler, personal pace. I thought the personal pace, the way the drive system was, worked great. I've done my adjustment, had to replace belts. Because, with the you're talking, I'm using the Toro. I don't want to bash the Toro. Because it is a good mower. But as for mulching, horrible. Suction, yes. This thing will... That is one thing the Toro has. It will suck up everything. Rocks, acorns, those, we call them pinwheels around here. Mulch, from rainstorms that get on the lawn from the flower beds. Leaves, you could literally suck up all the leaves. If you're just doing a small yard cleanup, that Toro will suck everything up. I will say that as far as bagging, yes, it sucks everything up. Sucks wet leaves right up from, the suction's there. As far as mulching, it does okay. You have to constantly go over it. It does okay. And when I say okay, I've used other mowers that just mulch, go over it twice and disappear. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the greatest. So yeah, like I said, the Toro is still good. I'm gonna keep it as a backup. I've replaced the belt. It does need a new belt. Now, as for the Honda, it just wants to go. I don't know what kind of transmission. I gotta read more into it. Or the way they have it set up. I have not looked or read into it. But right off the bat, compared to the personal pace, yeah, there's no competition with the I've owned 2 personal paces. Always drive good, not bad. But when that Honda, it's right on. I can push the throttle, it will creep. The Toro, it just hesitates a little bit, then it will start going. That Honda, responsive right away. Whether it's a little bit, it will just creep. Even if I creep a little bit with the Toro, it still hesitates. So that's another issue. And, like I said, I've never owned a Honda, so never used one. So yes, throttle response on the self-drive, instant, just, this thing wants to go. I would say, excuse me, that the Honda's faster. If you were just on tar, I was going up hills, and I have a couple clients, they got some inclines, just spinning, gives a little, because I gave it too much throttle, it just wants to go. So you got to really creep up, and it will grab. The tires are good. With the Toro, going up hills was kind of a struggle. Even when it was brand new, it would go, but it was really slow. That Honda just grabs. It just wants to fly up the hill. So that's one huge seller. Mulching, no comparison. That Honda mulches everything. They have a dual blade design. Amazing design. Amazing design. And like I said, I really am thinking within the next week or two buying another one and storing it. That's how impressed I am. As longevity, I see these things on the marketplace. I almost bought a used one. I see these things all over the marketplace. 200, 300, a year old, 2 years old. I paid $550. I would have easily after just using it. I've used it now, what? Past 3 days. And I would have paid $650, $700 for this. If you let me use the Toro for one day, and then you let me use the Honda, and they said the Toro was $479 and the Honda was $700, I would have coughed up the $700. I'm probably gonna get some hate comments, but $550 for what you get and how it reacts and how it handles, the simplicity of it. I mean, I got one handle in the rear for both tires and one in the front. The Toro, I got those flimsy, all 4 tires flimsy. You gotta pull it, they rust out. I mean, I wash my stuff, I keep it. I've had the Toro now for, that's one thing I'll say. The engine reliability, I've owned it for 4 years, that Toro. First pull every time. It is one of those just add oil, don't do an oil change. I don't go by that. Guys, don't do that. I think they came up with that concept to kill engines faster, so that way you're constantly buying a mower, or the new trend that they want to put out for batteries. So if you don't change your oil, it's easy. You just, drain the gas, or, put a plastic bag over it and twist the cap on it, tip it on its side, because there's no drain plug. But I still change my oil in that no oil change motor. I do. You gotta change oil. It gunks up. I think that's just what do you call it? I would say a marketing scheme. Let it die after 2 or 3 years. And then, maybe we'll switch to battery, because that's what they're pushing. Battery stuff, there is some use for it. Just for like what I do, the batteries would be dead too quick. And with my power inverter on my truck, they wouldn't charge fast enough. So, it's boom, boom, boom. All my jobs are close. Each day, they're all lined up in the same town. Go to the next town one day, go one town another day. And constantly using it, wouldn't have time. Even if it took an hour to charge, I wouldn't have time. But with that said, the Toro's been good. But I think with Honda pulling out of the market gives Toro the advantage, because I think they're doing Toro a favor. Toro, if you're watching this, I'm not bashing you. We all have room for improvement. But like I said, I've loved your stuff for years, but I think you're slacking in a lot of areas. Maybe you should put some Honda engines on your mowers again. That was it, GVCV, whatever it is, that 170, that thing did not bog. I mean, I threw some heavy, wet, thick grass at it today, yesterday, and the day before, and yeah, guys, I was wrong about Honda, and I'll say it again. They are all the hype. I'm sure I'll get some Toro guys saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. Guys, I've been mowing and doing all this property maintenance since I was 14 years old. I've been doing it almost 20 years. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I was even thinking about starting a channel just for mowing. If people, want to start a mowing business, I can show you how to do it cheap and profitable, no overhead, and stop making a side hustle. Then before you know it, you have a huge business. But with that said, yes, I was wrong about Honda, and I'll say it again. Let's see. What else? The Honda comes with a gasoline shutoff. Beautiful for oil changes. The Toro doesn't. The bag on the Honda could have been bigger. There's plenty of room. I think it's only 1.5 bushels, and the Toro is 2.5 bushels. So Honda was slack in that area. They could have went bigger. I think you can buy a bigger bag. I think I've seen it on the Home Depot website. I'm not sure to hold me to it, but I will look. If I can, I will buy a bigger bag or even an aftermarket that will fit it. As for Toro parts, very expensive. I wanted to buy a new bag. I want to say the bag and frame was like $200 or something like that, $180. That's insane. A commercial extended that fits my Bobcat is like $400. I mean, and it's all aluminum and it fits, God, I don't even know how much. A lot. 5 bushels, 6 bushels, and you want $200 on a residential cheap frame and cheap bag. So, I mean, my bag's fine, but I was just thinking maybe I get a new one down the road, and yeah, I'm not going to do that. So with that said, I think Toro has to step up their game. They need to come up. I would definitely use Honda motors since Honda's out of the game. I would look into Toro again. If you're seeing this, you should come up with a double blade mulching design because, yeah, it works. Honda has proven that. I do like the rear discharge on the Honda. My Toro does have a rear discharge. With that said, you have to register your Toro because the rear discharge attachment does not come with it. It's kind of a pain. They mail it to you. But, again, it's been faithful. It's reliable, the engine so far. I just feel like it's lacking power, and I don't know why. I don't know what, the spindle or what. Even from day one, it didn't have that mulching power. I don't know if it's because of single blade and, you know, it's a 163 and the Honda's a 170cc. Not much different, you know. I'm wondering if that dual blade plays a big part in it. So yes, I recommend the Honda over the Toro. For now, my mind won't change unless Toro steps up their game. With that said, guys, let's keep the algorithm going. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And I want to thank all my new and existing subscribers. I love you guys so much. Leave me a comment. What is your experience with Toro mowers or Honda mowers? I love feedback. I really do. I love new ideas. With that said, guys, till next time, I'm out.